Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Raj. Hey, Doc. How you doing? Everyone okay? Oh, welcome to Wednesday. Hey, Bry. How you doing? Getting the red pen out for the audits? Don't you just love month end? Month end. It's like, you know what month end is like? It's like the Olympics for accountants. No, sorry, that's year end. So this is like practice. Hey, class, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I'm still a little stuffed up, but feeling much better. Thank you for asking. It's a heck of a virus. Alrighty. Now, what are we going to do with this market? Overnight inventory was short. It still is short. And that's just a fancy way of saying that all of the trading is generally underneath yesterday's close. So let's see if when London opens, whether we move down or we go take the overnight high. Either way, this is an inside day. Hey, Jerry. It's an inside day, which basically means we are inside yesterday's range, okay? And it also means that we're inside yesterday's cost basis. So essentially, what that means is nothing has changed, right? All that to tell you guys. So if you wanted to buy ES yesterday, you could buy it in this range. Tonight, you can buy it in this range, right? You can sell it in this range. Yesterday, you could sell it in this range. So that's basically business as usual. Once we get outside yesterday's range, up or down, that is change, right? So that's what we're looking for. I gotta admit, I haven't drawn the balance zones yet. Let's go take a look. I woke up and I live in Liverpool, and like right across the street are these docks, so there's water. I wake up and there's like 10 police cars, ambulance, fire truck. I'm like, what in gosh's name's going on? And then I see an old guy swimming in the water, and they're all trying to fish him out, and he wouldn't come out. So it took 20 people to get him out of the water. So I got sucked into watching that. So let's do a balance zone up. I apologize. Just crazy. Must be a full moon. It's got to. Poor old guy. He must have had dementia or something like that. But he was just swimming lazy circles in the water. But I can't believe how many people they sent out to fish one dude out of the water. Yeah, better than Netflix, right? So let's see. Now I could be lazy and use yesterday's balance, but I won't do that. Let's go and redo another one. So I figure it'll help you guys as well if I redraw these balance zones, right? And let's see. So when I do this, basically what I'm looking for is that back and forth trading that establishes a cost basis. So I'm looking for sellers at a level, and I'm looking for when they stop selling. Now, gotta zoom in a little bit. See if I can find. See these two lows match up, and then that one matches. Now I need to clean up the highs here. That high and that high match. So boing, boing. Let's try that. Let's try 82 to 87. And I'll draw the midline. That's just the middle. And then I will double it to the upside and double it to the downside. Today we have NVIDIA earnings, right? Hey, Badir, how are you? I owe you a phone call. I apologize. I was sick as hell last week. You tired? Yeah, it's just been. That's what I get for going on holidays. Let me see. Try and find. Where is. Just got to reset my VWAP. So I always set VWAP at the beginning of every Globex session. So I use 23-hour VWAP, much more simple than anchoring it all over the help. All right, I like consistency, right? I like to do the same thing every day. It just establishes routine, and that routine helps me establish discipline. Because if I don't have a routine, I have no discipline. And for me, man, if I don't have discipline, I don't make any money. Right? It's brutal, right? I am not one of those people who can shoot from the hip and make money. I wish I was, but I've got to do the same thing every day. So this business is, it's just like we're a baker or something like that. We come in every morning, turn on the ovens, pull the dough out of the fridge, do all that stuff, right? Get a routine, and we wait for a trade. I'm still checking out the old nano here, and curious. There's like no liquidity in the nano yet. It's a new market. It's beautiful to see a brand new market open, and you can see like there's nothing in the order book. There's no bids. There's no offers. Right? It's quite amazing. Yeah, I could see why AMP's not letting anybody trade it just yet. There's nothing in that order book. I think commissions. I am hearing people complain about the commissions. But here's the thing. I'm going to address the nano while we're waiting. We got to look below and fail here, my friends. We have a look below and fail of 87. So we found the bid here. So if you buy 87, 88, we got sellers here, right? So we can creep up over 89. we'll have some business. Make sure that if you're long, to put your sell orders out as we go into the London Open. Make sure you're a seller. So, there you go. So you've see how the offer lifted over the white line? Today we're going to have a execution class, and we are going to be breaking down the infamous cup and handle pattern, and we'll be discussing the ways you can trade it, the pros and cons for each way, and help you guys figure out a way, because everybody seems to love that pattern. I've never traded it, but I look at it differently, so we'll be watching that. So if you're long, say 88, I'm a seller at 89 and 3/4, right? At 89 and a half, right? We need the offer to move up over this white line. Otherwise, that trade's not really going to work, you know? See, the seller will engage there. So when you do take trades and say you get sucked in by a big green candle and you buy high, well, then you at least know where your trade's going, right? Like, say I bought it high. Maybe I bought it at 88, right? I didn't get 87 and a half because I missed a bit of the first move, right? Don't worry, right? You can manage that trade by watching the offer. Because if we clear 89/4, this thing will run a little bit, right up to yesterday's close. If we can't, then you can blast out of your position, right? So if you're long 88 and you've got a sell order at 89 and it's not getting taken, the market's trying to tell you that your trade is not working, right? And you can just hit flatten and get out, okay? Right, so the nano is not to make money. Let me be very, very, very clear about the nano. The nano is not for you to make money. Okay? So when you talk about high commissions and things like that, I understand. But you guys are looking at it the wrong way. The nano is a product for trader development. It's a product to learn with. It's like training wheels on ES. Right? You're not supposed to use the nano to make money. You're supposed to use it to try and learn in a lower risk environment. You guys get what I'm talking about? Right? So, right? I would always fine tune your trading with the micro before you move to the mini. Now, Sergio, let me say that you don't have to do that, right? But say you start trading and you start the day out with the mini, Sergio, and you take a loss, right? And you lose $200. It's very, very easy with 2 or 3 minis to lose $200 or $300. If you do that every day, right? After a week, it's going to start to hurt. After 2 weeks, it's going to start to hurt. You get what I'm saying? I don't really like losing 1,000, 1,500 a week to know I'm wrong. I can lose 150 to know I'm wrong, right? It's much smarter to start your day trading the micro because when you start trading, you're not really in tune with the market. That's why I start trading with the micro. And the nano is for people with very limited capital, right, who want to learn. You're not going to make any money trading the nano, right? Because it's what there's no, it's just an expensive product to trade to try and make money with, right? So remember that, and remember that over time, right? You're going to learn how to trade. But the thing is, when you're learning how to trade, how do I say this? Well, there's really no nice way to say this, right? When you're learning how to trade, you're not going to make money. And if you think you are, you're completely delusional. Like nobody starts trading and comes running out of the gate with 100 grand a month, right? That's what the marketing says. Everybody who sells you trading stuff says, "Look, use my trading method, you're going to make 100 grand a day," right? But you're not, right? You're going to lose money, right? Because you don't know what you're doing, right? Just like anything else. How can you expect to go into a skilled-based enterprise and just start printing money if you don't know what you're doing? I mean, when you reasonably think about it, no reasonable human being would expect that. So the micro was great at $5 a point. The nano is 50 cents a point, right? It's 50 cents a point, so you're not going to make any money. But you are going to be able to put your hands into order flow, and you will be able to, another look below and fail. So if you're buying 87, 88, you know there's a seller at 88 half, okay? Be aware, right? So you use the nano to learn how to trade in a sort of a, a less capital intensive environment. You can use the sim, Moran, right? But let the nano, like if you look at the nano now, there's like no, the order book is just empty, right? Whereas you look at the order book from the nano and you look at the order book for the micro is 20, 30, 40, 50 contracts at every tick. The nano, there's gaps all over the place because it's a brand new product. As the market develops over time, it will start to fill in, right? It'll start getting used, right? Right now, it's in sort of a kind of a testing phase, right? But I think for you, it would be good because it'll get you off the sim. And, it's not capital intensive, right? So it's great for traders. Like when I started trading, the micro didn't exist. When I started trading minis, and I would not trade because I was paranoid to lose money, right? I was absolutely paranoid to lose money because I just felt unsure of myself, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing. If the nano had been around, then I mean, for you to lose, you really have to do something crazy to lose a ton of money, right? So, if you could trade the nano and you could lose $10, that's not bad, right? It's like losing $100 on the micro. So it's a great learning tool. It lets you get in there and trade. It lets you actually experience real order flows because no matter how much you trade on the sim, when you go to trade in real life, the order flow is not going to match. So this is a great way to, once the product matures a little bit, I think it's a wonderful tool for trader development, right? I wish they had it when I started trading, right? I would have been much more, I mean, I could lose, 10, $20 a day and get a hell of an education, right? You notice I'm not saying I could make 10, $20 a day because you're not going to when you first start trading. Everybody thinks they are, but they don't, right? I wish it was like that. I wish we could just start trading and start making money, but it just doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, if you want to be a surgeon, you just can't go and start doing surgery. It's not going to work out well, right? So, yeah, like right now, I'm watching the product as it matures. The order book has absolutely no, orders in it. I'm sure it's just a CME on both sides or Citadel or something like that, trying to build out the market. And that's okay. New markets are cool. It's wonderful to see a new market develop. Well, because you have to get comfortable with losing, Moran. That's something that you need to get comfortable with. I understand exactly where you are at, but you have to get comfortable with it. It's a big problem for a lot of people. You have to be comfortable with being wrong. You have to be comfortable with it. Because if you're not comfortable with being wrong, trading is going to be very difficult, right? If you're paranoid about being wrong, and I'm talking about myself, right? I'm not talking about you or anybody else, right? I'm talking about myself. I mean, for the first 4 years when I started trading, I was paranoid about losing money because I had some friends who staked me, right? It was after my divorce. I wasn't trading my own money. I was trading a friend of mine, his mother said, "Look, I'll put some cash in the account. You learn how to trade. If you lose it, don't worry." And I didn't want to lose her money, which, you don't want to lose all of it, but you do need to learn how to take a loss, learn from it, and course correct, right? And you have to get used to being wrong. So it's better to be wrong and lose $5 than 50, and it's better to lose $50 than 500, right? That's something that you'll have to, come to terms with on your own, right? And I understand this market is very, very difficult. It's a tough trading market. And sometimes it seems like it's taking years to get consistently profitable, right? That's why funded accounts are great, you know. I wish there was a sim that would actually mimic order flow. Sierra is pretty good, but there are times in regular trading where the sim is not going to be accurate. Faster markets. The sim also will not be able to tell you whether or not your orders are getting filled because they're simulated orders. It's not real order flow. So this nano is perfect for your case, right? And that's why funded trader accounts are the best thing because you pay 30, 40 bucks a month and you try and pass the evaluation. And I know it's hard, and I know it's heartbreaking when you blow up an account or when you don't get the evaluation, but you got to power through it, right? And that's going to help you develop that mental toughness you need to trade. Your control comes from your trade setup and your discipline, Moran, right? I've been with you now for years, and I can see that you know what you're doing because when we're on these calls, you're like, I'm long, I'm short, I'm doing this and doing that. And the trades are working, right? So there's a look below and fail of 82, right? Just a quick one because there's a bid at VWAP, right? Quick little bid at VWAP. So if you're long, your seller is going to be right here at the top of this candle here, right? Make sure you sell into strength. If it takes out 85 and a half, we're going to go and tickle the 86s. So make sure your sell orders are out so you can sell into strength. Okay? Right. And there's 87. That was a picture perfect look below and fail, and it only took 2 minutes. Right. I was out at 86. Right. Hey, Ian, how you doing? So a little bit of rotation. The balance zone's working nicely. The new levels that we just did. So that's cool. Now let's see if we can go up to that 89 level because the sellers were here before, right? Right in the seller. Boom, 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 boom. If we hold 87, you're looking for 88 and change. It's hard giving up control. Control, the only thing we can control is where we take the trade and our risk. Unfortunately, we can't control anything else, and that's the problem with trading. That's the thing with trading. It's difficult, right? And then just when you're doing well, the market changes the next day or the next week, right? And Jerry, as you start getting some experience, right? You will be able to hold trades longer, right? There, see how we went right to where the seller was? So you knew there was going to be a seller there, so you're not delusional. So even if you're long 85, if you're long high, you sell some at 87, sell some at 88. But if you have an offer out at 90, 91, it's not going to get taken because there's a wall at 88 and a half, right? This is the most simple method of trading where you mark where the sellers are going to be when you're long, right? You know where the sellers are going to be, so you have some sort of awareness of the market. Most people get into a market and they don't have no clue where the buyers are, where the sellers are. They're just trading off a pattern, but they have no idea what's going on in the business. So if you want to learn how the business works, right? If you want to learn how the business works, come join us at Trading Syndicate. We'll teach you, right? It's not easy, but over time, you will build your level of skill. Any questions? quiet. Any questions, you guys? It seems to be a rotational day. Just trade the rotations. Wait for your setup. If you don't know what your setup is, come check us out at Trading Syndicate and we will show you. Got a 3-day free trial going right now, so reach out, we'll help. Good idea, mother. Good idea, Badir. Good idea. Go hit the couch. Alrighty, folks, I'm going to let you go a little early. I got to go hop and take a phone call from a doctor, so I will see you a little later. Thank you so much for being with us. Remember, today we have earnings from NVIDIA, right? Is it after the close? So keep an eye on that. Have a great morning. Stay out of trouble, and we'll see you for the 9:15 session. Thanks, folks. Bye for